All right, so let's jump into if someone was listening,
Yeah.
right, and they're like, "Well, fucking help me make money."
Sure.
Help me. I'm earning income. Help me make money. What is it about what you guys do that helps your clients make more money than they otherwise would with a Morgan Stanley or with some other financial advisor? Is there? We've kind of talked about it actually. Do you feel like there's a possibility of that, or is there some other advantage that you offer that may not be necessarily financial?
Sure. Well, there's a couple. I think we've chatted a little bit about contentment, and that's something I think we could get back to because
you brought up like something about how you guys focus on cultivating contentment, and I was like, "What? That I've never really heard that out of a financial advisor's mouth."
It's not like it's going to show up in our literature all over the place. It's not the theme of our lives, but
it should, because it sounds like a pretty good buzzword.
Maybe it will be now. Well, by next week it'll be all over our website. So, again, like I said, a lot of people think, how much should I have in stocks and bonds, and what funds should I buy? Like that's 90% of what financial advisors do. But you got to get money to those accounts in the first place. So your lifestyle is as much about that equation. Like your outflow is as much about that as your income. Yes, you need to have enough income to even have a starting point of having something to work with. But one of our other advisor, Jeff Miller, who was one of our clients first, didn't have to work anymore and didn't know what he wanted to do. And Paul was like, "Well,
come work with us.
Come work with us."
Oh, shit.
His grandfather always used to tell him, like, "I don't care how much you made, show me how much you saved." And lifestyle, we talked about Madison Avenue earlier, like lifestyle, consumption, always getting the new thing, like
spend.
If you're not saving enough money, I don't care what rate of return you get, it's not going to be a percentage on a big enough number to start to compound and make any kind of difference.
Correct. You haven't saved enough.
Right.
I don't care if you get 20, 30, 40% a year on $1,000, that ain't shit.
Yeah. And so the market, I can't tell you what the market's going to do next year. Anyone who says that they can is either lying or misinformed.
Yep.
But you can control 100% the choices you make related to how much of your money you spend now versus what you set aside.
Agreed.
Now, if a family's living on not a lot, like if they're close to the poverty line, if they're one income, 10 people in the family,
exactly $50,000 a year.
Maybe they don't have a lot of
6 or something.
Choice.
Right. That's not that. Those aren't necessarily. That family should try and put something aside for sure.
100%.
It may not be in the world of in that time of their lives. It may not be in the world of investment advisory.
Correct.
Designing. You could possibly help them design a life though, where they are more financially secure than they otherwise would be if they didn't talk to you.
Completely. Well, because that's some other pieces of the equation, like protection, preserving what you already have is also really important. So like really early in our process with clients, we ask to see their car insurance. And I can't tell you how many clients that have loads of money and loads of assets have the same exact car insurance that they did in college when they got it for the first time.
Dude, that's totally me. And by the way, I don't know what's been happening with State Farm. They just sent me a notice saying we're not going to insure you anymore for your Jeep Wrangler beginning in February or March. I'm like, I got to find new insurance. And part of me is like, my mom and my brother, like my whole family is kind of on a shared policy thing. Okay. And so we've had like a run of issues with cars and broken windshields and bumper dented.
Yes.
And they're like, oh yeah, you guys have had too many things, so we're kicking you off your insurance. We're like, what?
That'll happen.
You know what? F you. Like, we don't want you if you're going to kick us off. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, I'm going to shop for car insurance. Part of me is like, yo, I think I'm going to find way cheaper insurance because I've been on the same plan for so long. And I'm sure like they're not going to lower it if they don't need to lower it.
I actually kind of like State Farm. I just switched to them actually.
Yeah. By the way, they've been very good. I had a good experience.
Yeah. So, but even more important than the car insurance, I mean, there's some things to change there to keep up with where families have grown. But umbrella insurance is this huge thing that doesn't get talked about a lot. So you picture is your State Farm agent ever talked to you about umbrella insurance?
No, but we have umbrella insurance on this restaurant.
Great. So it's like business liability insurance, but for your
Correct.
personal. So for listeners at home, picture your car in your house with this giant umbrella going over the top of it. It picks up where your other coverages leave off. So if you have like 300,000 liability on your car and you get an accident and you have $1 million umbrella, then you really
700
have
grand more.
you have 1.3 million.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like $1 million over and above.
no shit.
And it's not just car insurance. If you go on vacation in Mexico, car insurance doesn't cover you there because car accidents in Mexico are filed as criminal code, and car insurance only covers you in civil matters. If you commit a crime, it doesn't cover you.
I didn't know that. So my credit card insurance, does that cover me?
I don't know for sure on
All
that
right,
one.
but car, you're saying
Yeah.
my State Farm probably wouldn't cover me.
But umbrella insurance follows you most places you go in the world. So if you hit someone with a jet ski when you're on vacation in Mexico, your umbrella does help you out. And umbrella insurance is incredibly cheap. Like for most people, $1 million umbrella is like $300 or $400 a year.
What?
So car insurance agents don't make a lot of money on it, and like auto agency offices get these big bonuses based on profitability of their office each year. And you can imagine if you have a couple $1 million claims, that starts to change those profit ratios. So it's not your agent's fault.
It's not their favorite thing to sell.
Just their company and their industry just kind of disincentivized. But it's one of the most valuable or value proposition kind of products for consumers.
Okay, so I think
we talk about that every time because that's going to hit you before retirement. Like, are
what's
you going to
hit you before retirement?
Well, what's your probability of retiring tomorrow?
Very low.
Me too. About zero, maybe zero, right? Is the probability higher or lower than zero? We don't know what it is exactly, but higher or lower than zero that a car accident could happen.
I got you.
And right,
so that's going to happen before I retire. I got. So that you're saying that's pretty damn important.
Worry in order.
Worry in order. I like that. So, all right. So you're saying when I asked you, hey, how can you help? Your clients make money in smarter, more powerful ways than a Morgan Stanley. You're saying, because we're set up as a kind of a design firm fee, we're not incentivized to just focus on stocks and bonds and all that shit.
Right. We do amazing things with those.
Yeah.
But there's some other things to do first.
Right.
To make the impact.
Worry in order.
Yeah.
And you're saying, for example, umbrella insurance and car insurance. For example, that's a great example. I see what you're saying now. Okay, cool. I like that.